played a tremendous role in the democratic struggle. And therefore, it became necessary to penetrate the labor movement and to bring it to naught. And then in the book we find the period of the MRD. And when I hear today and yesterday کہ جی بہت ظلم ہو رہا ہے یا بہت ظلم ہو گیا, it is unfortunate that our historians have failed to write the history of the MRD movement. The history of the MRD movement is replete with state oppression and state subjugation. You had Ayaz Sammo, as mentioned in the book, 20 years of age, sentenced to death by a military court and hanged. You had Nasser Baloch, as mentioned in the book, 40 years of age, sentenced by a military court and hanged. You had Ayaz Tuti and 4 more who, because of their political beliefs, were convicted by military courts and were hanged. You have read vividly the hounding of political workers and leaders in the book. You have also seen and heard and read of how political workers or soldiers, as is mentioned in the book, foot soldiers, how they were taken to torture cells, to Atak Fort, to Lahore Killa, and how they were tortured over there. Then, of course, the Qudras. But this is history, and history which the state does not want recorded. And unfortunately, that has not been recorded, except for an attempt being made in the book that we are all here to launch today. And then the book goes through the experience that Dr. Saiba herself went through when Fateh Saab was in jail. Her experiences in and outside the jail. And as I was reading those experiences of hers, many a thought crossed my own mind. For during that period, I also spent about 2.5 years in various jails in the province of Sindh. So I can understand when she talks about how it felt to come to the Mahdi. I can understand when she talks about how relatives, I won't say ran away, but relatives politely would refuse to take calls. These are things which what one would say perhaps are occupational hazards. And I myself have tried to pen these down in my book of short stories, in which One short story deals with this and is titled A Dead Man Walks. The life of a prisoner, an ordinary prisoner in Karachi Central Jail. During the MRD movement, and if we were to place in juxtaposition what we find today, we find a sea change. During the MRD movement, the politics was of ideology. Today, it is political tribalism. During the MRD movement, there was tolerance and respect. No matter how divergent your views may be from the others. But now, you have intolerance and disrespect. During the MRD movement, it was a movement to confine the role of Pakistan's establishment to the Constitution of Pakistan, the role prescribed to them under that. लेकिन मुझे अफसोस से कहना पड़ता है कि आज, and I'm not singling out any one party, I'm talking about all political parties, and I'm talking about my own political party as well. But today, all are looking up to the establishment in one manner or another, and going to the extent of saying that violate the Constitution, but bring us into power. I think during the MRD movement, there was a monopoly. The difference, there was a monopoly of the establishment. But what we are witnessing today is a creeping dominance of the establishment in each and every sphere of life. The limitation is gone. It is only a question of the degree of dominance. I have been going on, but the book is so intense. The book is so vivid that one could go on and on. There's the chapter on Vienna and the role that Dr. Saiba played there. There is the last posting on how she became the cabinet secretary, the most coveted post, and in all it is an absorbing book. But before I finally part, because the monologue has been going on for a fair period of time, but then I feel I would not have, let me try and justify my stay at the podium by saying that I perhaps would not have done justice to the book had I not spoken on the various aspects of it. But I believe that today, when this book has come, Pakistan in an age of turbulence. The turbulence could not have been greater. Today, we have a warped, if not a warped, but we have a different kind of a thing in which revolution is being talked of, in which there is talk of a peaceful revolution and there is talk of a bloody revolution. But what little I've read of history, democratic revolutions are not bloody revolutions. Bloody revolutions come when the economic deprivation of the people reaches a peak, when people are hand to mouth, and then that revolution throws up its own leadership. That revolution may be started, but that revolution can never end up being led by the petty bourgeoisie. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.